What it do, YouTube/TrueTube. Today's video, I want to chime in with a quick impromptu video. In today's video, I want to talk about a few topics, but it's retaining to the same subject, right? Now, the crazy part about this is all speculation. This is more like, conspiracy and shit like that or whatever. But at the same time, it's not even conspiracy. If you can connect the dots, bro, if you can clearly see, bro, this shit it's all right there, bro. Like, it's all right there. You know what I mean? If you got eyes to see it, ears to hear it, it's all right there, bro. What I mean, it's all right there. The proof. But I'm saying this is speculation because how this shit is playing out, it seems like it's more and more of a setup. Now, first things first, before I get into this video, right? I want to say, I want to do a little response to Seti Nash latest video he did, and the title of it was Quavo didn't explain what happened to Migos Takeoff. Now I'm explaining this. Now shout out to City Nash and shit like that. I'm not saying what he said. Anything he ain't saying nothing wrong or nothing like that. But he missed a few topics, or not a few topics. He missed a few points in his last video and shit. Now he probably thought about this shit. He probably haven't. But I'm gonna say this because somebody else probably thought about it. They probably haven't. But this is what I see, right? And his video just kind of like sparked this shit in my mind. Like, it sparked the connection. So check this shit out, right? So the reason why is one of three reasons why Quavo didn't explain what happened to Takeoff. First things first, he either got threatened by Jay Prince Jr. and mob ties, that he better not say shit. That's probably like 90% most accurate. The second one is, the stupid shit, the no snitching, woo woo woo, that type of shit, you know. And then the third one, which is probably more than likely too, is that he probably can't say nothing because it's an active investigation. And they still actively trying to put the pieces together and things of that nature. So that's probably another reason why Quavo can't say nothing. You see what I'm saying? But I think more likely he got threatened by Jay Prince Jr. and mob ties that he better not say shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what I personally think. And then this is another thing that I was saying is that, come on, I told you in my last video, Migos fell off, right? They fell off, and not necessarily in a bad way. It's because they was eating off Bad and Bougie. Don't get it twisted. They got other like records and shit like that, but Bad and Bougie is their biggest record, bro. It got like 1 billion views, like 1.5 billion views on YouTube. You see what I'm saying? So they eating off that. They fell off for a while, right? And then as soon as they come back, right? Because Offset, he left. Him and Cardi B, they got their own little shit going on. Offset focusing. Shout out to Offset. He focusing on his own single career, and that's cool. His solo career, and I could tell he was hurt the most. I could tell because he could barely even speak. You could tell he was hurt. You know what I'm saying? Quavo seemed like he was more like scared straight. Like how he was reading that shit off that post, that shit like he was like it was kind of weird. I'm not saying that he don't feel no pain and nothing like that. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying how he was reading that post and shit like that. And if you know how to read body language, listen to voice tones, monotones, and all that different shit, that nigga sound like he was either scared straight or it's just like it didn't sound as genuine as it could have been. But when you heard Offset, that motherfucker, you could hear that hurt his soul. You know what I'm saying? You could really hear it hurt his soul, bro. Like, that's just fucked up. But like I said, I ain't saying it hurt Quavo's soul. Quavo's still the type that's not gonna cry in front of everybody. See what I'm saying? So I'm not saying the shit he's saying is ingenuine. The shit, it sounds about accurate, because that's usually how it is when you grow up in the hood. You want to do WWE shit, WWF, whatever you want to call it. You like watch wrestling, all this shit like that, basketball, the sports, all that shit. I can relate to what he was saying, but the reason why he not explaining this shit is because he can't explain it. He got threatened to. Now, another thing I want to touch on this topic is I said this in my last video as well. I said the reason why he was set up, I don't think Jay Prince Jr. and them wanted to do it. Like, I don't think they wanted to do it. I think it was a hit, like, from the higher ups. Like, it was an order call from the higher ups. Like, look, like Johnny Dang and them with the jewelers and shit, because I've said this too. Now, people coming out saying this after I said this. I said, Johnny Dang and them, all these jewelers and shit that's in Houston, when Duke the Jeweler came out there, they probably put a hit on Duke the Jeweler, and they just used Boosie and Jay Prince Jr. in that dice game as a setup to get him out the way because he was one of the top 5 jewelers in America. Now going back to Takeoff now, right? Jay Prince Jr. and them mob ties, they connected. Like I said, Jay Prince Jr. is the one who discovered Drake. It's either Jay Prince Jr. or him and his brother, him and Jazz Prince. I think they discovered Drake. But Drake is one of the biggest artists in the world right now. You hear him say he's one of the biggest artists in the world right now. And like I said, when Migos and them took their little break and fell off, they came back messy before any of this happened. I think messy, it was #1 trending. Even when this situation did happen, it was still #1 trending for like a week. Now all of a sudden, it's not trending no more. It's trending #2. And guess who's trending #1? Drake. Yeah, a song featuring 21 Savage. Now I know what y'all saying, like Drake can't be trending #1. I'm not saying that. I fuck with Drake. I really do. I fuck with Drake. But Drake is being used as a pawn by the elites, just like all these other dudes. I don't think Jay Prince Jr. and them really wanted to get that nigga killed and shit like that. I don't think he wanted to do that. Like I said, I think he was just used as a pawn to carry it out. You feel me? Because they didn't want the Migos to have no huge comeback. Like I said, the Migos was gonna have a huge comeback. And they want Drake to be the #1 artist. They want him to be their #1 poster child. And Drake is a very respectable guy. He's a great artist. I'm not saying that they don't think rap shit and nothing like that. I'm not saying none of that. It's true. Drake's a great artist. You know, he's a great guy. You know what I'm saying? I done seen Drake give back to so many people. I done seen him give back to so many people, so many fundraisers. He don't just write the check and send it to him and he don't show up. That motherfucker actually shows up at the fundraiser. He actually interacted with the people and shit like that. So I fuck with Drake. I respect him. You see what I'm saying? But he's being used as a pawn, whether he know it as not. Like when he went to Takeoff funeral, he ain't had nothing to do with the situation. But the people that surrounded him and shit like that, they didn't want the Migos to come back and have that huge success. So they had to, unfortunately, knock one of them off. Probably was gonna knock both of them off. You see what I'm saying? And think about this. This is another point that nobody really said. Every time, and Gilly talking about some white people recording and shit like that. That's true. But have you ever thought to yourself, what if it's not the regular people that's the recording? What if it's people that's already staged there, like crisis actors? Oh, that's conspiracy. That sounds crazy. Think about the shit. When King Von died, there just so happened to be people on the roof. Why is it roof views? People sending, they got videos of the roof shot of the incident when King Von got set up. It was a video coming from the roof, like it's pointing down. So the niggas was already on the roof. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. Atlanta, all these different places, they got high-rise buildings. That's true. They have high-rise buildings. They got apartment complexes. It could be people on their balcony. It could be people doing all this shit. I understand that. But every single case, the Makita's Cookies with Young Dolph, Nipsey Hussle, all these different situations, it was already King Von, Takeoff. It was already somebody there recording the incident. Basically waiting on it to happen. And they always seem to get the video from a perspective, like a high-rise perspective, like the video is captured from above and looking down. Why is that? It's like they already staged that. Oh yeah, go upstairs real quick and make sure you record and get ready for the show, the ritual. You see what I'm saying? Real shit, man. This shit is deeper than what you really think. It was a sacrifice for the brotherhood. Rest in peace to Takeoff. Rest in peace to all the fallen, rapper and non-rapper. Rest in peace to the fallen. God rest the dead. Wake up. Wake the damn up. More videos coming soon. Real shit.